Hello, this is Laura Peters in Dublin, Ireland, and today I want to show you how to make this fun pop-up card. Okay, so this is not about the decoration. I don't know about you, but my patience for videos is very short. I just want to see how it's done. So I'm going to show you some different versions of the decoration. This is the original one that I got. Unfortunately, I don't have the name of the person that gave it to me. Isn't that gorgeous? So you'll see she made her square a bit larger than mine, but I saw it peeking out and I wanted to avoid that, so I made mine a bit smaller. And here's one I made. It's been in and out of my bag so many times some of the jewels fell off, but you can see it's just a pretty designer paper with the coordinating cardstock in the background and pretty color on the paper on the inside. It's a really good way to go through some of the designer paper you might have sitting around that you want to use up on something nice. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is cut our paper. I have marks here for the halfway points, both long ways and short ways on my paper. I normally would score this way and cut this way, but we're going to do the opposite today. So we're going to cut it at 10.5 centimeters and keep the other half the rest of the card or for a whole different card. And then we're going to score it at 14.9. It's hard to see from this angle. And then I'm going to move it down 2.5 centimeters to 12.4. That sounds right? It doesn't really matter. Okay, we're done with that for now. So the first thing we're gonna do, oh my goodness, I marked my card. First thing we're gonna do, fold it in half like normal. If you have your bone folder, that's fabulous. I don't know where mine is. I'm just gonna use my Sharpie here. Okay, and then fold it out this way. Make sure we're happy. I'm happy. I did a whole stack of these for a swap that I'm in. And I tried using glue because I didn't want to use up all my tape. And it didn't work out so well. So this is called tear and tape. You literally can just tear it, but it's very firm adhesive. If you are adding a ribbon, like in the samples, you would add it here. So if I was adding a ribbon, I'd put a little bit of tape there at the end, secure the ribbon to that, and then close it. But I was going for easily duplicatable because my goal was to make 50 of these. I don't know how many I actually made. I haven't counted yet. Okay, so we're putting that just inside the score line. So now when it opens, you've got this little lip. So something I noticed as I was preparing for this video, and I had this card sitting to the side, is that when you open it like this, it's super cute. You can write your message here, love me, feel better soon, love Laura. But it was sitting out like this on the table and I realized, oh my goodness, if I make it long ways, they can display it better because you can't display it so well when it's like that. So these cards are all decorated landscape mode, and we're gonna do this next one portrait mode, or just pretend we're doing it portrait mode because I'm not gonna stamp the front. Okay, and obviously you can decorate this in these examples where you've got the color card in the background. I didn't feel the need to do that. Okay, so let's stamp. We stamped the front of the card, right? Now we need to know how to do the inside. So we're gonna take a piece of DSP, the designer series paper here. This is 6x6, but I didn't like that length. It's too big for my card. It looks fine like that, but when it's folded up, it will stick out. So I'm gonna cut this down to 14 centimeters. Sorry, it's 6 by 6 inches. 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters. And this is a retired paper, but I will list the current equivalent as well as the B stamp sets that I used. Okay, so we cut this 14 by 14. Now we're gonna score at 7. I just realized I'm off camera. 7 by 7 centimeters. And then the next bit we're gonna do is turn it diagonally. So I'm putting it in this notch here at the end. That just helps me hold it in place, and I make sure that the corner of the paper is in the scoring and cutting track on both ends. You see that on both ends there? And make sure that I'm using my scoring blade, not my cutting blade. So what I have now is a line here, a line here, and a line here. Okay, so the side that I want to show, I'm gonna fold across that diagonal line with the side that I want showing facing out. Now I'm gonna fold the two. To me, this looks like a 4-square cord growing up, or grid, right? It's just like this. So I'm gonna fold these lines with the preferred side inside, okay? Now, should look like that if you folded it that way. If you fold it the opposite way, doesn't matter, just keep refolding it till it looks like this. So you'll have one square down. When you push the other solid square towards it, these two diagonal folds should come in. And look, I've got a little bit of a bubble there, so I did something not quite right, but I'm just gonna smooth it out and it will be perfectly fine. So this is what we have at the moment. Try and do it for different angles to see what works best for you. Now, something I learned is if you want your card to open nice and wide like this, I'm gonna show you the next trick, or you end up with a card like, is this a good, oh no, that's another good one. He's so cute on all these different colors. I was trying to make it look like he was either in a garden or in the sky. Womp womp, that's as far as I can open this card. So even though I pushed the corner all the way to the seam, something else wasn't lined up quite right. So what I've discovered is, where's my glue? The glue only goes on the flat sides, not the side with the fold. And you want to make sure that it's opening so that the points will open up and down and the flat sides are on the outside. But you have to test opening it, because if you put this point in here, then the fold's on the wrong side. So all the opens need to be to the right. You know, I'm a visual learner. Hopefully by looking you can see what I'm talking about. All right, I'm gonna stick it in here. I'm gonna push the point to the middle and then try to get these two even. Now this one, I definitely recommend glue and not tape for this reason, because then I can shut it, open it, and test it. Oh, see, now that didn't open like I wanted to, so I'm gonna push it so that it's opens. Can we reclose it? Oh, oh, I see what's happening. It's too far up. Come on, come on, come on. It's not too late to save it. Come on, we can do this. Maybe it is too late to save it. There we go. It's close enough. I'm just gonna re-squish it down. Woo! So with the glue, you have a chance to recover and scooch it a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna put my bee on. I've already constructed my bee. I used glue dots on the wings so that I wouldn't get glue everywhere, but I did not on the antenna because it was too small. So my bee on the other one is angled like this, actually works for either direction you wanna make the card, but since I know I'm doing it this way, I'm gonna point him like this time. So I need to make sure that if this is all the way laying flat, that his entire body is within this square. And I definitely want to make sure I only get glue where I really want glue. So I'm just gonna put glue below the wings. It doesn't even have to be a load, it just has to be enough for him to stick. And then he's gonna pop up and say, hello, I love you, you're the best. Oh, my wing is not in the, this is why I don't put glue too close to the edge, because then it allows for some scooching room. Now let's close it. Everybody's happy. You know, I really should be doing that on the back side. Ta-da! Okay, now you need to, I had some cut and I don't know where I put them. Take your two little squares. So these folded, these are 7 by 7. Remember we scored at 7 and 7. So I'm gonna make this 6.5 by 6.5. Sorry, you have to watch me. I had some somewhere and I don't know what I did with them. Now, I'm wasting paper because that's not the right measurements, but that's okay. You can definitely use those for something else. So now I have two 6.5 by 6.5 squares. If you want to stamp a message on this, I would do it at this point because it will be difficult with all this in the way. So we're just gonna put these here for our messages, and I can see that it's not fitting it in that square quite right. So I definitely measured something wrong, but it works anyways. As long as the thing opens and closes, that's all we really care about. Yeah, see, ideally these two corners would be pointing at each other, but I was more focused on what it looked like on the outside there, but it, again, good enough. Okay, so now let's pretend I put the, where's an extra B? Let's pretend we decorated it. Doesn't matter, can't find the B. So let's pretend we decorated it this way. Oh, see, now look, this point is sticking out. Do you know what? I learn more by mistakes, and I hope that you do too. So make sure your point isn't sticking out. Ta-da! What a happy little pop-up card that's actually so easy. Again, here it is with the decoration. I really like it with the designer paper, especially if you have a really fun one and you really just want to feature the paper. This is great for that. So I quite like it with the designer paper and the ribbon here. And again, you would attach the ribbon and then close this fold. Attach the ribbon, then put the tape here and close it. Okay, but I wanted one where I could get tons out of it, so I just decorated this part, and I still think he's so lovely. One other tip I want to show you if you are using the B, which let me tell you, I get a lot of mileage out of this B stamp. I'm really glad that I got it, is if you, I had a scrap set aside for this. We're gonna make a new scrap. Okay, we're just gonna cut a chunk off here. I've been stamping for a long time, so I have some really old ink pads, so just ignore that. If you punch, oh, it's not white enough, are you joking? We'll do it this way. All right, so I need to make about 4 more Bs to complete my project. So what I'm gonna do is just start with the body. I'm gonna do a few of those. And I know I need to leave a little bit of space between them for the stinger, etc. We'll just start with 2. You get the point how I can get a few out of a sheet. And then I'm going to do these next. Now, because I'm starting with the body, I don't need to do it, but I did find it was a bit hard for me to see through the stamp and the block to where exactly this was. So I'm just gonna highlight the edges of these so that they're easier for me to see. And to be honest, I got that idea because I was not lining up my stamp very well and I kept hitting the edge, and then I realized, oh, that made it easier to see. Okay, so I've highlighted the edges there. Now I am going to tap, 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 not squishing, center my body in the part where the punch goes, and then, oh, that didn't stamp nice. That's okay. And now I'm going to do the wings on the other side of this block in blue. I'm sorry, Coastal Cabana. So I scooched it, so let's line everything back up. Now I can see where my wings are meant to go. And then when I go to punch it, I can do it all in one punch. Da, 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 da. I should have stamped the stripes first. Okay, so you can do all 3 of the punches at once, and that will be really helpful when you're trying to make multiples. I hope that was helpful.